Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We've reached the final game, the National Championship, and whilst it has been quite a ride, quite the debate and quite the drama getting here, we are here just minutes away from kickoff deciding the new 2019 National Championship. And whilst I say new, we have a team looking to go back to back to back in Queensland, taking on the New South Wales Wolverines. I'll be calling the game here with my man, Coach Miloš Vesel. Mate, Coach Wolf, as they know you, mate, your general outlook, don't give away too much because we've got a whole pre-game to go, but your general thoughts of the game ahead.
Depending on who you talk to, you'd like to think that New South Wales has some runs left on the board. They haven't reached their full potential, where Queensland, like we've been talking about all tournament, have just been doing what they do, very, very solid on all three phases, offense, defense and special teams. They just need to keep doing what they're doing. New South Wales quite obviously needs to pick their game up for this championship game, and emotionally I think they're ready.
All right, we're still in pre-game here. I'm going to go run around, find me some coaches, get you. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We've reached it with the men in charge, and we'll be kicking off shortly. Coach Bose, you're here. It's been a tough journey, but you are here looking for another championship. You've got a tall order against this Queensland team, looking to match the efforts of your Wolverines, who've gone back to back to back before.
Yeah, it's just it's about, I think it's mistakes. As long as you minimalise our mistakes and try and make them make more errors, I think we should be able to overcome them. They are by far the strongest team, I think, on paper, and they haven't lied on the field. They've done well. It's probably going to be a big task, but as you've all seen before, the Wolverines have done that before, so I'm trying to repeat history and upset everybody else.
What do you think, speaking broadly, do you think is Queensland's biggest strength? What do you have to nullify to win this game?
Their quarterback's pretty much their biggest weapon, I think. If you don't see him in the pocket, he'll just run around and make yards, and he's not on every single team. So I think he's by far the biggest weapon, and he's also got the arm to back it up.
Fantastic, Coach. Appreciate your time. Good luck for the game ahead.
Thanks, Eddie.
Coach Booker, a national championship is on the line for your lads here. They're looking to go back to back to back, but of course, many of these guys competing for the very first one. What's the attitude in camp right now?
Business as usual. We watch our film every game. We try to improve off of that. We find what the opponent does well. We try to stop that. We find what they don't do well. We try to attack that. Football is a simple sport. That's what we're going to do today.
What do you think New South Wales does well?
They're a technically sound team. They look like they're well coached. They got guys in the right spot. They look organized, and so when you have an organized team, it's easier to know where they're going to be instead of an unorganized team. We're always guessing what they're going to do. So we have to use one of their strengths to our strengths also.
Coach, a three-pit on the line. Thank you for your time. Good luck. And Gridiron community, before we get to the match and amongst my chat with the coaches, I'm looking for any excuse to sit down, and can't think of a better one than sitting down next to the GA chairman and Darren Mitchell. Mate, you're here on National Championship Day. You've been keeping up with the tournament via live stream. Yep. What's your general thoughts of the tournament so far?
Oh, look, it's just great to see kids playing football and representing their state. It's important that we have representative teams because it brings the clubs together, I think. Back in my day, many when we played in leather helmets and stuff, it was always good to play rep football because you got to join up with other players from other clubs, and it's really good to bring the clubs together in a state team, and it's great to bring the state teams together in a national championship.
And during the game, we caught you for a little bit talking about the All-Stars and their progression. A quick word on those.
Oh, look, I think it's a great initiative. Came up, I think, in the last Junior Nationals. There were kids from far north Queensland who was too far to travel to go to Queensland practice. There were kids from Tasmania who didn't quite have enough to make up a squad, and same with the ACT. So we put them all in the same bucket and made it an All-Stars team. And I think that's just a positive venture for all three communities, because it allows those kids to play representative football and join in and meet kids from other parts of the country that you wouldn't normally meet.
Mate, and very quickly, we've got a bunch of awards. I saw a bunch of trophies there on the stream.
None for you, mate.
Oh, so disappointed. But what awards have we got post-tournament?
Oh, look, there's MVP awards for positional, as well as a championship trophy. So, and then there's medallions for the winners and runners-up. So, it's something to celebrate our junior nationals, and it'll be something little for the people to remember it by.
Put you on the spot, mate. What's your tip for the national championship? New South Wales or Queensland?
Oh, look, it's a sunny day, so that may say Queensland, but New South Wales are on home territory, so we'll just hope it's a good game.
There we go. Thank you for your time, Darren Mitchell.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen watching this stream, I am that fast. I have gotten back to my booth in time. And now, patiently waiting are the two teams ready to compete here for the right to call themselves the national champions of the junior division here in Gridiron, Australia. We've got the coin toss underway as Queensland and New South Wales will come together in this national championship.
Thank you. Queensland, you're the home team. New South Wales, you want to go walk around and shake their hand, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Coach, is that a new thing? I used to think the old, you meet in the middle sort of thing.
It might be something that has developed over the years, evolved into what we have
Firstly,
now.
gentlemen, I want to congratulate you on a fantastic week of football. I'm honored to be your referee for today. My name's Scott Hood, and over there we've got Greg. Sorry, Greg. We've got Greg in there as your umpire. All right, so today, what I've got is I've got a special coin made up just for the game. I've got a Q on one side, I've got an N on the other.
For this.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the coin up. Whatever one is landed on top, facing up, is the team that's going to win the toss. New South Wales, you have won the toss. There you go. What would you like to do? You're going to defer? Queensland, what would you like to do? You're going to receive the ball? Which way would you like to kick today? Okay, roll around. Sorry. Here we go. New South Wales have won the toss. They've elected to defer. Queensland have elected to receive. Gentlemen, shake hands. Good luck.
Well, you just saw it. New South Wales winning the toss, electing to defer to the second half to take their option. Queensland naturally opting to take the ball here in the first half. Let's lead ourselves into the team list as Queensland will look at their team list as the two teams line up for the Australian national anthem in just a moment. Coach Wolf, welcome to the booth. We'll lead into you a bit more, but there's a big name already. Number 3, Gorka Watchapari, the quarterback. What do you make of him?
He's shown that not only does he have a strong arm, but he's a great leader and can make a lot happen out of very little. So we're looking forward to him to be an absolute leader on the field today.
And then finishing off the list there, the guy he's throwing to, Jaden Palliada.
They've quite obviously established a great rapport together, built up over the years, and together they've been really shining. It's interesting to see what New South Wales does to counter that combination. And
let's go straight into the Wolverines team list. There's Jalele Dempsey leading out the charge. Ethan Nalawabau, one of the power backs. It'll be interesting to see who plays quarterback, Heptonstall or it'll be Ryan. Cameron Street always dangerous in the back. But who stands out to you amongst all these talented New South Welshmen?
Obviously the skill positions, but I really think it will come down today in particular to the big dogs up front. The old adage is how the offensive line goes, that's how our success goes. So offensive line fires, we fire. And
before we go to the Australian National Anthem, acknowledging our officials for today. White-hatting Scott Hood from Western Australia, at umpire Greg Evers from New South Wales, head linesman Kevin Chen from Victoria, line judge Matt Sayers from Victoria, field judge is Sean Funga, also from Victoria, as is Leon Carter, our side judge, and our alternate is Tony Connor. And could everyone be standing for the Australian National Anthem here at Narrabeen in the Sydney Academy of Sports and Recreation.
Ah
patriotism here after hearing our national anthem here to lead out our national championship.
I get goosebumps every time.
And thank you to our crowd for standing and showing respect for that. Seeing the two teams retreat to their sidelines and get ready for battle. By this game's end, we will have a victor. Will it be the Queensland Sun Devils once again defending their championship from 2017, or will the Wolverines claim their first title since 2013? Before this game kicks off, let's take one final look at some of the games that have passed in this final series. All Stars got their first ever victory against the WA Raiders just yesterday on Good Friday. We just saw Victoria resoundingly claim their third place trophy against the South Australian Sharks, and of course our national championship just about to kick off. The Queensland Sun Devils and the New South Wales Wolverines, the only two states in the junior division to claim supremacy.
While we're on Victoria, welcome back into the fold, Victoria. Great showing for this tournament. And now let's see what happens with the emotion. It all goes out the window, the emotion, once the first bullets are fired.
Well, still plenty of history between these two teams. As I said, these are the only two teams that have been able to claim, or only two states that have been able to claim themselves as national championships.
A lot of pride at stake. It's the old state of origin rivalry, Queensland versus New South Wales. So the coaches know each other. A lot of these players know each other. They know that the history is behind them. And now let's write a new page in the history books. Good luck to both teams.
Here it is. New South Wales kicking off via Ben Chariot. He launches it. It's an awkward one and will bounce into the arms of Jet Bond. Big man Bond will rumble through the middle, spins out of a tackle, bounces off another, and will take his team all the way to the New South Wales 40. The Sun Devils, with the most dangerous offense in this tournament, will start inside New South Wales Wolverines half.
As far as the field position game goes, first shots fired by Queensland. They have very good field position now. And we know that the offensive power of the Sun Devils, they can score from anywhere, and certainly from this, from the 40-yard line going in.
Oh, this is almost their ideal spot. Gorka Watchapari leading the tournament in passing touchdowns.
Starting with 3 receivers out wide.
Well, he's got
to the
12
left.
of them. He'll look to Nielsen, his running back from the first play. Gets a block now. I think that was Jaden Paluda. Needs to be careful there of blocking below the waist back towards the line of scrimmage.
True. Good flow to the ball from the defense. A little stumble after the reception. Slowed him down just a little bit.
He does need to be careful there. So,
Well done, Zach Fernley, getting there very, very quickly to shut him down.
and that's a good win for the Wolverines on first down. They nullify any yardage. In fact, they move Queensland back a yard.
They've mirrored the previous formation, 3 receivers to the wide right side of the field.
Caught Chapari, rolls to that direction. Throwing over the top to Jaden Paludan, his favourite receiver of the tournament. And there's his first catch of the day.
Wide open there.
That's nothing new. We've seen them use that before, rolling out and using a bit of a high-low concept to the open side.
It looked like a flood concept where they have 3 receivers flooding the right side of the field, and then it's up to the quarterback to find whoever's open. Well done, Queensland, so far. That'll do them a world of confidence.
That earns them a first down, fresh set for Queensland. Kawachapari alone in the backfield. Try and hit Shanks underneath. Shanks will get it. And that is linebacker Zach Fernley once again there for the stop.
Quarterback just eyes downfield. Who's open? Pitch and catch. Nothing's open downfield. Throw it underneath. Let your boy be an athlete.
Well, speaking about being an athlete, flushed out of the pocket is Kawachapari, but they bottle him up nicely. The damage is minimal. Maybe picks up an extra yard or 2.
He's done that all tournament where there's nothing downfield, go turn into an athlete. And what you'll notice from a rather lean character, the toughness that he has. Very tough young man to take blows from left, right and centre and then bounce back up like a rubber ball.
Taking their time now, slowing things down, Queensland.
They've started out 3 wide to the wide side of the field each time so
And
far.
that trend continues here. Shanks, the most interior of those 3 receivers. Palunin outside him, Jepon the furthest. But it'll be Zach Nielsen taking his first handoff. And New South Wales stuff him at the line.
Is that the first running play, Kenny? I believe it is.
Yeah, they had the short dump-off pass to him, but that is the first handoff for Queensland. New South Wales handle it nicely.
It shows you the confidence they have to come out with pass for the first 4 plays and then back it up now with a solid run.
That was on 3rd down. Didn't get too excited because I knew for a fact Queensland would be coming out on 4th down. Here's the real test for New South Wales.
No surprise there that they're going on 4th down here.
Kawachapari with Nielsen flanking him. They'll trust Nielsen. New South Wales get in there behind. New South Wales turn Queensland away on their first possession.
Zach McCarry, number 42. Great play from him firing off the edge. And was there fairly soon after the handoff. And then 2 other blue jerseys finishing him off. It's all about little momentum shifts throughout the game. It's rarely does the momentum stay with one team. And let's see if a little bit of a momentum swing carries through with the Blues offense.
Well, is their leading passer Michael Ryan, who they'll trust with the start to this national championship. Nala
Lefty.
Wabau,
Lefty starting.
right side of this left-handed quarterback. He'll throw to that right side. He hits more. And that's a nice completion there to get things going for the Wolverines.
On target, so that's both quarterbacks now starting off with a pass. That's both offensive coordinators believing that their passing game can do some damage early. Good effort from number 7 there, Lucas Jeff, with a downfield block, giving his boys some extra yards.
David Christie there on the stop for Queensland.
Very good confidence builder for the Blues.
Now on the right hash. Ryan calls for it. Will hand this off to Nala Wabau. And he stumbles forward. We'll get this awfully close, maybe even a first.
Looks like a first down signal from the referees.
And that run there will move the chains. First down, Wolverines.
Nice seal-off block there by the large human Vilami Lolo. Running back running behind him in a big gap that was opened up. So well done for the offensive line.
1st and 10, Wolverines. They also come out with a 3 wide set to the open side. It has been the status quo for almost all the offenses this tournament. And Queensland, that D-line wakes up. They get into the backfield, taking down Nala Wabau.
I'm not sure whether that was actually a zone read play by the quarterback where if the defense keys on the running back, he gets to keep it himself. The defense certainly did key on the running back. If he kept it there, he had some open space to the outside, so something for the offensive coordinator to look at moving forward.
Well, Lawson may have been the one who finished it, but starting it was Tyrone Tofeano. 2nd and 12 for the Wolverines.
Traditional spread formation.
2 by 2. And they'll try to go back to Nala Wabau. He'll lower his shoulder and truck over. Gets the ball back past the original line of scrimmage. This will be 3rd and long now for the New South Wales Wolverines.
If we have a look at the interior of the line, good blocking there. And love to see the big dogs making an initial block and then going and looking for work downfield.
3rd down and 6.
Big hole.
Assignment. New South Wales, much like Victoria, very much using a rotating cast of running backs throughout the game and throughout the tournament.
And they don't lose much in their depth when they do rotate. The starters and the second stringers, to call them that, about as good as each other.
Play action pass on 3rd down. Jeff's under pressure, getting it to nobody. Look, the nearest receiver was either Chariot or Moore, but David Christie, of all the players for Queensland, was probably the closest to that ball, which falls incomplete.
I have a feeling that he just basically threw that ball away. If that was the case, it was a good, smart play by the quarterback. Don't do anything silly, especially this deep in your own, close to your end zone. So pass the ball away.
And they live to punt it away.
Live to play another day.
So Queensland a turnover on downs on their first possession. New South Wales failing a punt here. And this will be Mulvaney punting it away. He's been one of the premier punters of the tournament. He sends this down close to the Queensland 20. They're going to mark it at the 25.
Got themselves out of trouble, flipped the field there. Once again kicking away from the returners of Queensland, who we all know are very, very dangerous athletes. Very, very, very fast and can find gaps in the defensive special teams.
Yeah, Calder Shanks, the only player to return a punt for a touchdown throughout the AGL.
And one of the reasons for that is that they've been kicking away from him and not giving him an opportunity to run the ball back.
He did return one in game 2, but penalties denied him. It's staying on the stat sheet. Nielsen on the flat. Nielsen will have to follow some blocks now, looking for the sideline. That's where he'll go. Takes it over the New South Wales sideline. Positive yardage for the Sun Devils on first down.
Swing route from the running back, just popping out to the right side of the quarterback, and then it's up to the right wide receivers getting blocks downfield, and smartly steps out of bounds. Coaches would like to see 7-8 yards in a first and out of bounds rather than 15 yards in hospital.
That's been the opening play for the opening 2 drives for Queensland so far. The swing pass out to Nielsen.
You wonder whether the chess game is to suck the defence up and then throw behind them.
4 out to the left, in fact. And they'll hit Nielsen again in the flat. He's going to be a busy, busy boy. And I don't think he'll move the chains, but he will make it a 3rd and short.
Nothing too flash from Queensland. Steady, but completion after completion, each one of these little completions builds the confidence for these young lads.
On 3rd down conversions, Queensland currently 0 from 1.
Good catch.
3rd and short now. And live picture is Gorkawat Chapari dances, but when he breaks out of it, I thought he was cooked. And now he takes it over and they convert on 3rd down. Gorkawat Chapari was met in the backfield, but somehow slips his foot out.
That's exactly what we were talking about before the game, where Chapari can often seem to be caught in the backfield. Athletic ability gets him away together with heart. And then just strength for a thin, lean guy.
Just like pulling his foot out of a bear trap.
Yeah, the Wolverines would have thought they had him bottled up, but no. Empty set there.
First down, they're going long. Paludan comes back for it, trying to get a flag in the process. Won't get one. Coverage on the play there was from Blake Morgan-Monk.
It looked like an empty set, meaning no running back there with the quarterback. So 5 receivers wide, spreading the defense out and then just throw it to your boy. Looking for a flag there, but as it turns out, good coverage from the Wolverines defense.
Good job, though. He comes back for it and shows you he was fine for it, putting some pressure on the referees, if you will.
Absolutely.
Letting him know that he was willing to fight for it. 2nd down and 10. Incomplete on 1st down.
3 wide to the right.
But they will run speed option to the left. Nielsen has to break a tackle early and will take it out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain.
Speed option is where the quarterback and his running back just basically play rugby league. If they come towards the quarterback, flip it to your running back, let him go be an athlete. If they key on the running back, quarterback keeps it. There's the option. 3 wide to the right again in a bunch formation. Let's see if someone goes in motion. Nope.
Again, empty. He'll roll to Shanks' direction, but wants to go aggressively to Bond.
Had a step.
Had too much. Bond was open, but the pass sails too far to the right.
Absolutely had a step, and that
flags are down.
That's the quick fire ability of Queensland. They can throw it deep from anywhere, and they will.
Thought we were going to get a call there, and
An eligible man downfield, number 70 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Well, what's interesting there is that because I think that's not technically a dead ball foul, therefore New South Wales can't accept that penalty. You would think maybe they would accept it, 4th down, but obviously not one they get the option for.
They say ineligible downfield, is that right? So one of the big dogs getting downfield past the, 3 yards that they can't get downfield.
Should not New South Wales be able to deny that? In any case, it's over. Queensland going for it again for Jaden Palyadan, who leaps over the top of his defender. What a grab by 85.
Defender gets up holding his side and he got mossed.
He certainly did. As fun fact, I asked some of the South Australian players for their stats. I think it was young Sam Young gave me his stats. He was like 3 touchdowns, 250 yards, 1 moss.
Receivers love that. It's a new thing in the game where Randy Moss has brought it in with these calls. Number 20 looked like got mossed there, where a receiver goes up over the top and makes the play above his eyes. You love to see that from your receiver. Go just very hungry for the ball. Possibly lost. The ball was lost from the defender.
And Chapari almost throws an intercept. He threw that directly into the arms of Connor Aldridge, and Aldridge can't believe it.
It could have been one of those situations where Connor Aldridge had visions in that half a second of the ball getting to him of a pick 6. A pick interception followed by a touchdown. He would have had that flash in his mind as the ball was flying to him. It hit him too cleanly.
I think sometimes defenders, when the ball is too easy, they have to overthink it. I think you were talking about.
We were talking about
too
that
much
in the
time
previous
in the
game, where if you get a chance to think about it, your thoughts get in the way of you just being an athlete.
Well, Queensland off the hook again. They will run option to the left. It's well contained. Chapari has to cut back. Minimal gain there as far as some of the other runs he's been busting off. But you think about the way Queensland's going now. Geez, New South Wales, they probably would have loved to take that
absolutely.
penalty on third down. Decline that penalty, I should say.
That was key. But Chapari, he knows he'd like to have that previous pass back. But knowing he dodged a bullet, sigh of relief, and then just if he's a good football player, flush it and keep moving forward. Once again, showing how a tall, lean guy can look after his body by just falling away from the pressure, able to protect himself.
2 from 3 on third down so far. 3rd and 8. In motion is Shanks. And Shanks will get this with a bit of space in front of him. A block, and he's lost it as he's cut back. Jet Bond has recovered for Queensland. This will make it 4th down. I thought he had a cutback lane, but someone's poked that ball out.
Someone coming in, ripping and tearing. Get the ball out of there. Oh.
Damon Rowland with a strip coming around the back.
I actually thought it may have been number 17 here, poked the ball out.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
it is Connor Aldridge, sorry.
Connor Aldridge gets a paw out there onto the ball.
Making up for his dropped intercept there.
And that was anyone's ball. It was just good awareness from the Queensland players to jump on that, nullifying what could have been a first down and continuing the drive, and leaving them with a field goal attempt here.
Yeah, 4th and down. Queensland, the only team to attempt field goals. There's been extra points scored by a couple teams. This is an attempt here that's blocked. Queensland 0 from 2 on field goals this tournament. And that will leave this game scoreless. And Queensland have been in finished drives inside New South Wales half twice now without any points.
And you see not only the players on the field getting fired up about that, the Wolverines, but the whole sideline knew how important that defensive stand was, as well as the special teams. And if you know this game at all, you'll know that the special teams phases, the kicking game phases, that the third phase of the game is as important as offense and defense.
I'm trying to get the number of the number 6, I think maybe Lachlan Bignall, one of the captains from the Nepean Ducks, denying that field goal. Wolverines on offense. Nalawabau. Look at him breaking tackles.
Very strong run. Very, very strong run. The offensive line there, once again going behind the right side of the offensive line. Big number 77, once again, Vilami Lolo, creating a lane behind him as he just drives his defensive lineman back. Yep, and then go look for work somewhere else, and then it's just heart and strength from number 3, Ethan Mawalabau. Second and short.
4 down lineman, Jack Rithadech, the team's leading sack artist, on the left side of that defensive line.
You know he's coming.
He's trying not to get as many offside penalties this time around.
And that's what we're talking about. The
read option, but it'll be an RPO. I think that picked up a little bit of the breeze there, sailed away from the intended receiver, Ben Chariot.
And what we have there is the quarterback has, first of all, the option of giving or keeping the ball to the running back, and then rolls out to his stronger left-hand side, and if there's a receiver open, he'll throw it to him. He certainly he thought that he saw Ben Chariot open on that left-hand side. Ball sailed on him a little bit.
Sam Harkness and Tim Reynolds, 2 of the offensive staff of the Queensland Thunderbolts, as well as Andrew Burundu on the chains.
A lot of experience there.
3rd down and 2. 0 from 1 currently, the New South Wales Wolverines. On 3rd down, under pressure, hit as he's thrown, and almost intercepted on 3rd down whilst he was on the ground. Max Cusson.
Almost caught that off his back.
While
lying on his back or lying on his side. Slips down. And ball bobbled for a few moments. But big pressure from the right side of Mike Ryan, the quarterback.
And it's the man you called, Jack Rithadech.
He will just put pressure on the offense all day. If they don't do something about him, he can be a real hand grenade in the backfield of the offense.
Stopped on their own 28, 4th and 2. The Wolverines send their punt unit out once again. Second time Mulvaney's punted. It's another solid punt over the head of Shanks, and will be stopped there by Jalele Dempsey.
So a strip on the carry earlier by the Wolverines defense, nullifying what would have been a first down, and then a blocked field goal attempt, and then flipping the field. So they wouldn't be too dissatisfied with that, although they would have liked to get more of a role on offense.
So Queensland, after their missed field goal last drive, retake the field. We're 1 minute away from the end of the first quarter. 53 seconds remaining in the first. Zachary Nielsen heads up the left-hand side of the field. Has got plenty of space. Still got guys to beat, but he's still going, and he's run out of bounds. Inside the New South Wales 30. Solid run on the ground there.
Nothing open on the inside. Bounces it to the outside. Still got work to do. Nice cutback.
Good angles, big block there from Calder Shanks to get him an extra 15 yards.
Once again, love to see skinny guys getting blocks downfield.
Look at big Sam Harkness getting pumped up.
And a defensive lineman, Denzel Banaba, really hustling down from his interior defensive line position to help make the play. Love to see the hustle from the big guys.
Quick throw out to the left, Paladin. Paladin tries to split the defenders, reaching out for a first down. He's just short. That'll make it 2nd and 1 for the Queensland Sun Devils, following the catch there to Paladin.
If the defensive backs are backing away from the dangerous Paladin, we might see that quite often, where the quarterback just sees an open receiver, throw it to him, let him go be an athlete. Nothing fancy, but very, very effective.
And that marks the end of the first quarter. The two teams will swap sides, and at the end of one quarter, the scores are still locked up in this national championship, 0-0. And
so far the game has been played predominantly in the Wolverines' half. The game of field position means if you play a lot of the game in one team's half, a mistake or a quick shot from the offense can score very, very quickly. So the Blues would like to get out of their half and start playing more of the game in the Sun Devils half. But at this point, the defense needs to step up once again to keep this very, very high-powered offense out of the end zone.
And look, the solid information there. Look at this really wide stack of receivers.
What that does is it draws defenders out wide with them, leaving more lanes inside, possibly for the running back.
Yep, Twins bunched out to the outside, both sides.
Very, very wide to the wide side.
So much space, almost looks like 9-man football. They'll use that to try and give Nielsen space, but the New South Wales front Fernley again keeping this to a minimal gain.
Well done to Zach Fernley. If the defense doesn't adjust to those wide splits, the quarterback will just throw the ball out wide to one of those wide receivers, and then you have a one-on-one, and anything can happen after that. In this case, inside zone blocking, good flow from the defense, especially on the linebackers.
So 1st and 10 following that run to Nielsen, short, but it was enough to convert. Queensland Sun Devils with a first down.
3 receivers to the wide side of the field once again.
Jet Bond very, very wide. Is that who they're looking for? Never saw it coming. Taking him down for a big sack is Bignall. Lockie Bignall taking down Chapari from behind.
Bit of disguise there on the blitz. He timed that perfectly. Came around behind his defensive end. And I think everyone in the crowd saw that coming except the quarterback.
And it's just like, reminds me of watching the old Jaws films.
Dun, 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 dun.
That is it. Anyways, it looks like we might have a interview queued up. A quick shot down to the sideline after this play.
Interesting formation here.
Look at this.
A weird
3
single wing
receivers.
formation.
Yeah, very tight. It's odd. They'll use it to pass though. Looking for one-on-one coverage to the outside. Jet Bond with a Queensland touchdown. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The first score of the national championship. It's Queensland getting on the board 6-0 through Jet Bond.
Beats his man Blake Gads to the outside with one-on-one. Great throw from the quarterback to the outside where only his receiver can catch it. So great combination, and we see the depth at the wide receiver position where it's not just all Paladin left, right and centre. Any one of these receivers can catch and make big plays happen. And once again, the big arm of the quarterback to heave it down there.
Jet Bond's had a touchdown in each of the 3 games, I believe. A huge one last game, right on the whispers of halftime. 7-0, and we'll use this opportunity to throw this down to the sideline with Coach Hollywood. What do you got for us, Coach?
Hey guys, it's Coach Hollywood here. I'm down here with Coach Michael Kerr, head coach of the WA Raiders. Coach, you had the youngest team in the competition. How are the boys today?
They're in good spirits. They're a bit beaten up and bruised, but no, they're good. They're excited. They've had a lot of fun. They've learnt a massive amount about football and what it's going to take to come back in 2 years' time and actually win it. They're already talking about getting together and staying together for the next 2 years, training regularly and dedicating themselves to being the national champions in 2021.
The Western Australian Raiders have had a bit of a reputation of being, I won't say bullies, but being a very strong team. And, you know, to come the position you came, this is a really rebuilding time, isn't it?
It is. We made a decision before we came, when knowing we had such a young team, that this was an opportunity for us to really change the way we play football a bit. We've been known as, you know, coming into tournament and beating teams up, playing hard, smash-mouth football, but never winning. Always falling short because that one-dimensional football we played at the junior level. We sought to change that, and we have. I mean, we've seen glimpses of what we want our football team to be. We just need more time. And I think the next 2 years gives us an opportunity to do that. We've got nearly 80% of that team coming back in 2 years. And that's, you know, when you're talking about 30-odd players from a squad being eligible in 2 years' time, that's an exciting opportunity for us. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to come back and win.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kenny.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach Hollywood on the sideline, doing fantastic work today. And thank you, Coach Kerr, for giving us some time. And he was talking about the Western Australian Raiders and how it is really a development team they brought into camp this time with a chance to really build towards a true shot at the championship in 2021. A lot of young talent in that team.
As Coach Kerr was saying, they're a very, very young team, and the potential now that they have had their noses blooded in this tournament means that they're excited. They know what's expected of them. They know the work they have to do to get to the size and speed of the 11-man game and on the national stage. So it's a really good sign for that program in WA that has been known in the past as a smash mouth kind of get in your face program. And they're developing, growing, always evolving. Well done to Coach Kerr and all of his coaching staff.
Indeed, and just back to the action that's on the field. Connor Grew from Queensland got injured on that special teams on that kick return there. He's being carried to the sidelines now. The running back from the Gold Coast Stingrays. His day might look like it could be done there. Let's see what a little bit of ice and a bit of love on the sideline can do for the young man. In the meantime, Queensland, Chapari to Jet Bond got them on the scoreboard with a conversion on PAT by Jaden Paladin. New South Wales now have a chance to try and match that. And they'll try to pass. They'll try to get downfield real quick. Oh, what a catch from Jeff!
That's a wonderful catch. That's really is a wonderful catch. Lucas Jeff. Never gave up.
The concentration from Jeff and the juggle.
You'll see the quarterback's eyes go to the swing option to Ben Shariat. That was not on. Throw it downfield and let your boy go get it. That'll do everyone a world of confidence, build their confidence.
First down. More in motion. Nalawabau. He'll take it. He'll take on Connor Ellis. And he'll pick up about a yard, maybe two.
Sending a wide receiver in motion, hoping to spread the defense a little bit. The middle linebacker just waiting for the running back there. Little gap opens and then quickly gets shut down by the linebacker.
See Jake Edwards just pancaking Jack Rithadich. Big Jakey Edwards.
There's a gold helmet working.
Ryan, deep drop. Looking for the sideline and Chariot. Incomplete pass. On the coverage is Tyson Snag. Some solid coverage.
That was Lucas Jeff again.
I'm confused, the yellow helmets. My bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of yellow helmets out there.
Between Outback
Holding.
and Lions.
Number 73 in the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And Edison Jamsek will move his team backwards there.
Work to do for the offense now.
And whilst there's flags and penalties have been such a theme in this week's tournament, you can't help but think the most disciplined team, particularly in this tournament, will likely be the team on top by the final whistle.
Absolutely. Discipline is a word that keeps popping up over and over and over again. You can't just fly around and do what you want to do. You've got to stick, obviously, within the rules, but keep your emotions in check as well.
And good protection from the line.
Deep drop.
They force him to roll out, though. Ellis now trying to pursue. Throwing underneath. I thought he completed it at the 40. Incomplete pass. There was to the leading touchdown receiver for the New South Wales Wolverines and Liam Brown.
You'll see the receiver, he was way downfield, saw his quarterback get in trouble and then come back to work for his quarterback. Just unfortunate the ball didn't get there. See if this shows Liam Brown working downfield. You see on the left-hand side, sees the receiver in trouble, come back and work.
Exactly right. Not many quarterbacks can just flicker the wrist and send that ball down the field 50 yards.
Yep.
You see them in trouble, come back and give them a target.
Yep, absolutely.
Two receivers either side of the formation here. Just looking right has to move. Tyrone's on him. Dumps it off underneath to Nullawabao, but a form tackle there from Tyson Snag.
He would have thought that he had some room to turn and possibly get some extra yardage here, but crushed by Tyson Snag.
Coach Michael Kerr checking us out here in the commentary booth.
How are you, Coach Kerr?
Have you got your outback cap?
No.
Do you need one? I'll get you one. One new one.
Yeah, I'll take one of those too, Coach.
All right.
Getting some free gear in the merch.
Some merch coming our way. Thank you very
Mulvaney
much.
under pressure still gets his punt away. And Queensland's got to be careful not to touch it.
Favourable bounce.
And that ends up being okay after the pressure he was under.
That could have been very, very ugly.
Well, credit to both teams for handling the pressure there. Queensland smart enough also to stay away from it, and New South Wales, well, Mulvaney just to get that punt away was a true act of athleticism.
Absolutely. Kept some poise there and was able to put his foot through it. Somewhere around the 30-yard line or on the 30-yard line is a great turnout for what could have been very, very negative yardage.
0 from 3 by my count for the Wolverines on third down. They have got first downs before, but just not on third down conversion. Shanks here on first down will get tackled nicely there by Aldridge.
Bobbled the ball once or twice, which means he wasn't able to turn up field straight away, allowing the defense to come and get him for a 2 or 3 yard gain. Once again, you're expecting your wide receivers to get the blocks downfield, to get that swing route runner some time to turn upfield.
This is Queensland on their 4th possession. A couple of plovers here at Narrabeen. 2nd and 6. Nielsen in motion. They'll fake it. Gorkawat Chapari saw a bunch of blue helmets in his direction. Somehow escapes it and turns it into a first down.
Something out of nothing. Once again, we've said that how many times in this tournament where it looked like he would have been smashed in the backfield. And athletic ability, speed, heart gets him a first down.
Fortunately, no replay there. I think our booth was taken over by plovers. First down and 10 following the Chapari run. That is frustrating. You game plan to stop his passing game, and then he does stuff like that.
Can't get disheartened now, the Wolverines. They just got to keep firing.
Chapari immediately looking left, losing his footing and taken down for a sack.
It's exactly what we're talking about. Don't lose heart. Keep firing, because something like this can happen. You can't escape every single time.
Mitch King climbing the sack there and to force Chapari down.
Wolverines sending extra people on that with Bignell coming through. Second and 14 or 15.
Comes 5 wide. Empty set. Chapari surveys the defense, puts a player in motion. Will give that player the ball. It's Nielsen. Nielsen has to go backward to go forward. New South Wales won't let him. Almost stripping the ball there is Fernley. He is having a whale of a game this afternoon.
Bignell could have had him right here, but goes high and was the stiff arm able to keep the play alive. Excuse me, and then you see there 4 Wolverines jerseys swarming to the ball. Bignell misses the first one, goes and helps on the second one, and now looks to be injured.
And we've got an injury at the end of the play. And I think
great hustle, I think it is Bignell. Great hustle, but unfortunately for him, comes up hurt.
See him just in the right side of your picture there.
Throws his body in there, and I think he's got his arms and shoulders all tangled up in there, and seemed to have landed a little bit awkwardly on his shoulder. But great hustle, very, very good hustle.
take a look at it again.
We'll see number 6 for the Wolverines. Misses the tackle there. His engine's still running. Comes in there to clean up. And possibly even some friendly fire there.
Yeah, Bignell down, and he was the man who took Chapari down by the blind side earlier in the game.
Yep, so he missed the initial tackle. Kept sprinting after the ball carrier, Zachary Nielsen. And then possibly some friendly fire with some bodies flying around all over the place around the ball.
3rd and 20.
Good to see him up and about.
Big task here for the Sun Devils. Currently sit 50% on 3rd down conversions, but this is no average 3rd down conversion. Long pass needed. Chapari will try to run for it, and look at all that space for him. He's following the blockers. He's got the first down, but can he turn that into a touchdown? The long legs of Chapari will take him into the end zone in front of us here in the booth. Touchdown Sun Devils on 3rd and 20.
Amazing individual effort, but combined with that individual effort, you'll see the receivers, once they realise that the quarterback is running, blocking downfield. Number 85, Paludan, and I missed the other receiver, possibly called a Shanks, getting some blocks downfield, creating a sideline for him to work with. There you see the receivers starting to look downfield for blocks, cause a traffic jam where the Wolverines get caught up in that traffic jam. We've said it how many times now, Kenny? Something out of nothing from the quarterback.
He seems to be the magic man right now. Jaden Paludan to try and make this 14 points. It's up, and it is good. And Queensland now up by 2 touchdowns, 14 points to 0 over the home side New South Wales Wolverines.
And with an empty backfield, meaning there's 5 wide receivers out there running routes, which if they're manned up means that there's at least 5 defenders marking those receivers. So that's 5 defenders that are not watching the ball. Big space for the quarterback to tuck the ball and run, and then downfield blocking on 3rd and forever.
Are you expecting a run like that on 3rd and 20 though? Surely you're just looking for that pass.
Everyone's looking for the pass, but unless they start to shut down that scrambling ability from the quarterback, he could be doing this all day, especially when there's 5 wide receivers out there being marked by 5 defenders.
And here comes Tom Saxby, brother of Will Saxby, younger brother of Will Saxby, who represented the winning Sun Devil side in 2017. This could be recovered by Queensland. It's travelled to 10 yards, hit the front line in the back of the leg, right in the calf muscles, and bounced right back into Queensland. When it's raining, it's pouring. More luck for the Sun Devils.
Now, we actually practice this at club level. Whether that is a play that's drawn up like that, you'll see the Wolverines player number 4, Corey Dean, turns his back to the ball, cannons off his back, straight back to what looked like the kicker.
And the kicker recovers. And Queensland, they'll earn an advantage in the possessions. They've scored their last 2. Now it's Jet Bond who scored the first touchdown. He's a big man, and he'll grab a nice chunky yardage on 1st down. This will make it about approximately 2nd and 4.
Throw it to the wide receiver. The inside receiver goes and makes a block. With the defenders backing up, it leaves a lot of space for the ball carrier, if there is a good block made, to get some good positive yardage, particularly on 1st down. And that, as an offense, that's what you want, some really positive yards on 1st down, making the rest of the downs a whole lot easier and manageable.
5 yards on that last catch. 2nd and 5 ahead for the Sun Devils. New South Wales having to play catch up. Calder Shanks catches it past the line of scrimmage and stretches out for the 1st down. Is that what they'll credit him? No. Waiting for the chains. It looks like it'll be 3rd down. Shanks pushed out of bounds right there. So 3rd and 2 now for the Sun Devils. 3 out of 5. On the last third downs, of course, it was 3rd and 20 last time. And they turned that into a 50-yard scamper for a score.
Stacked formation out to the wide side of the field here on the left. 3 wide receivers bunched up there.
And they'll go to the
Inside
shovel pass with 5 yards to get for Nielsen. Nielsen, he'll get it. 2 yards to get. First down, Queensland. Flags down, though, on the New South Wales sideline.
Spot foul here.
Scott Hood realising his microphone's on.
There we go.
Legal block in the back. Number 85. 10-yard penalty for spot foul. 3rd down.
So on Queensland, that call, so wipe off that 3rd down conversion. New South Wales have an opportunity to try and put them into what would traditionally be a punting situation. We're not quite sure for Queensland and what that will be here, but now it is 3rd and 11. Ticking down to 4 minutes. Queensland.
All receivers.
Under pressure,
5 wide.
Chapari avoids it. Chapari's feeling athletic. On 3rd down, he'll try to shake and bake for the first down, and he's got it. 3rd and 20, 3rd and 12. Gorka Chapari has converted with his feet on 2 3rd and longs now.
Again, we have 5 receivers going out, leaving a lot of people with their back turned to the ball carrier, the quarterback in this case. An opportunity to get him in the backfield. Athletic ability gets Chapari out once again.
Does a quarterback like Chapari, coach, force you to halve your defensive playbook? Do you end up having to play zone defense because of his athletic ability?
There's different ways to go about it. You can set up a zone where more players' eyes, defensive eyes, are in the backfield, or you can set a spy, a middle linebacker, or an athletic player just to mirror whatever the quarterback does.
Nielsen rumbles forward, back-to-back first downs on the ground.
Queensland showing that they're effective on the ground as well as in the air, keeping the defense guessing because so far everything has been successful, and when it's not successful, as far as the way the playbook's drawn up, Chapari gets it done with his legs.
Well, number 21 makes it to the 21-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see what, if anything, the Wolverines do to counter the athletic ability of Chapari.
And they'll give it to Nielsen again. This time, they will do a much better job. It maybe got past the line of scrimmage by a football's length, but it didn't look very productive to me.
Number 51, Daniel Baker. And number 42, Zach McCarry getting in there.
Actually, they'll credit him for just under a yard there, so we'll call it 2nd and 9.
We've talked about quite a few times now that a 2-touchdown deficit is very manageable to overcome, particularly before halftime. A 3-touchdown deficit becomes a whole lot harder.
Well, on their 5th possession, they're knocking on the door of another score. Chapari, under pressure, stands in front of it, and Jaden Pelyudin, well, I'll be honest,
there it is. There's the flag.
We only caught that late on the camera there. It looked like he tackled the defender.
They certainly got tangled up, and incidental contact is not a flag. It just really depends on what the referee sees.
Yeah, that looks like incidental contact if you ask me. But I'm not the man in the zebras. Or the woman. Yeah, that was a pretty good angle there. Let's see if they choose to keep this penalty. Looks like that will be the case. They're going to award it to Queensland from all intents and purposes.
Defensive pass interference.
Can't
Number
get
25.
frustrated now.
Spot foul. Ball be placed at the 6-yard line. That'll be the 2-minute warning.
There it is. 2-minute warning. I think New South Wales could have had an argument there for incidental contact.
Absolutely. I've never seen a referee change his mind after a call's been made. I don't know about you, Kenny.
Once or twice. There's some pretty convincing captains out
Time
there.
left in the half is 1 minute 41 seconds. Clock will start on the snap.
Now, we've seen some key defensive stands throughout the tournament. I think this would be one of those. This is important. This is very, very important for the Wolverines to get a defensive stand here.
And they'll hand this to Nielsen. Nielsen can't hold on to it, but I think he recovers it. The tackle eventually being made by Daniel Baker, but Nielsen throwing the entire Queensland supporter contingent off their chairs with that fumble.
That was great camera work initially. All of us saw the bobble there on the interchange, allowing a brief opportunity for the Wolverines to get in there and turn the ball over. Fortunately for Queensland, recovered. Hello.
There's some supporters out there. There you go. Yeah, it's the words being used by a director in my ear. Such a rustic stadium here.
It's a beautiful setting. It really is.
1 minute. Calder Shanks in motion. Nielsen will try to evade the pressure, but look at this swarming defense from the Wolverines. Zach Vernley again. He's hungry for a turnover. Tries to strip it, but he can't beat the whistle.
Damon rolling in there first, making the initial contact. Well done. Bang. And then his brothers come and clean it up.
35 seconds left.
This will be huge if they can stop them here. Of course, Queensland do have shown the willingness to go for a field goal, but if they can hold them out here, we just talk about that last possession. That'll be a huge mental win going into the half if they can get a goal line stand here.
Absolutely. I'm surprised no one has taken a timeout, in particular the Wolverines with the clock running down to
Third
0.
and goal on third down. It's caught, but it's not enough there. That could be a turnover on downs. Nope, third down. My apologies. Hold on.
Queensland, there is 5 seconds remaining in the
Timeout.
half.
So they used it, so they will go for the field goal. Most likely. And while we take a timeout here, Queensland called timeout. Could I get Coach Hollywood heading to the commentary booth, please? Coach Hollywood to the commentary booth.
Paging Coach Hollywood.
Apologies for scaring anyone there. Of course, it was third down, not fourth. Fourth down now with 5 seconds remaining on the clock. There's Coach Hollywood just doing his own thing despite the request to get him to the booth.
He's got a nice shady spot there.
I don't think he wants to give up his spot in the shade. But Queensland here, well, let's see if they choose to send out the field goal unit. That is not the case. They do not want 3, they want 6. 5 seconds. They could technically squeeze in 2 plays here. It would be highly unlikely. But look at this formation. We haven't seen this yet from Queensland.
Heavy set.
Very heavy. Nielsen, it's a counter play. We'll have to race to the outside. Can he get to the edge? Yes, he can. With 0-0-0 remaining on the clock. Queensland add one more before the close of the half.
No surprise that Queensland did go for it on fourth down. I am surprised with the play call, but ultimately, well done.
That is a play we have not seen from the Queenslanders yet. Zach Nielsen had plenty of work to do trying to chase him down.
Touchdown is good. We'll have one on time day.
You see Bignell miss
there.
Faliatua misses as well, and a lot of work for Zach Nielsen to get in, and power and speed gets him across the line in the corner.
Well, this is where the field goal would have been should they choose to take it. Clearly capable of doing it. 2 from 2 right now, Jen Paludan. But that just shows the aggression. I don't think that was intentional. Nielsen will try to add 2. Nielsen will add 2 right in front of us here in the Nissan commentary booth. So instead of 21-0, the Queensland Sun Devils will head into the halftime break with a 22-point spread over the New South Wales Wolverines at halftime here in the National Championship. I don't think it was by design, Coach.
It certainly wasn't. The Wolverines going in there for the extra point block, and unfortunately for them, didn't have the outside contain to stuff that what turned out to be a great run to the far corner.
And Queensland have one hand on the trophy, a hand worth 22 points. They're one half away from earning the three-peat that no Queensland team has done before in the Junior AGL. I'm Kenny Andres, joined by Coach Wolf. You've been watching the AGL JNATS 2019. We'll be back on the other side of halftime. All right, welcome back, Gridiron Australia community. We are seconds away from halftime, the second half of the National Championship. Queensland in a pretty comfortable position right now, but anything can happen in 24 minutes of football. Coach Hollywood, your final time on screen, at least as far as the game stream goes, your outgoing thoughts into the second half.
Look, Queensland have been really, really good in the plays that they've done really, really well. Some great long passes, they're executed well. But I've got to say, there's been some very unlucky bits for New South Wales, as in, they need to clean up the missed tackling, otherwise they've had them stopped on third down a few times. The unfortunate kickoff where it hit the player in the back and went straight back to Queensland as well. So there's been a couple of things go Queensland's way, but it's really looking at it, full credit to the Queensland coaches that they've worked out what's going on, worked out what they need to do, and now it's just going to put the foot down.
Coach, we'll see you in the post-game presentations. Enjoy the second half.
Okay.
I'll run back to the booth. We'll be back together soon.
So we've got to talk that Michael Kerr.
All right, welcome back. I had to quickly sip a bit of water and get myself back into the driver's seat for the second half of this National Championship. Queensland sitting pretty, as I just alluded to, with Coach Hollywood, and that continues now with a special teams effort there from Jaden Paludan, who tackles down the returner Rojgersberg at the 21. I'll use this opportunity to bring back Coach Wolf, who's doing a fantastic job over the games I've brought him on here. Coach, second half underway, New South Wales with a very tall order.
There would have had to have been some key adjustments made, especially on the scrambling quarterback, and they quite obviously need to put some points on the board. So let's see what they do differently, if anything, on the offensive side of the ball. Is that Heptonstall in at quarterback
now? They have switched up the quarterbacks. Heptonstall will take over for Ryan. Slightly different look. Rogers-Berg will be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Queensland relentlessness. It continues here into the third quarter. That's a loss on first down for the Wolverines.
Defensive front shot out of a cannon on that. Possibly the New South Wales Wolverines are still stuck in at halftime, and maybe a little bit of disappointment, but they really will need to turn things around emotionally, physically, spiritually. We'll see once again if there's any changes on the formations or the scheme side of things. Quite obviously they've changed quarterbacks to see if they get something happening now.
Liam Brown hasn't had a chance to get too involved so far. Will be used as a blocker on this play, and New South Wales trying to get a few more of their running backs involved early here in the second half. Corey Dean leading the way for, I think, might be Streeter.
Cameron Skeets Streeter.
Oh, look at the block on the outside there by the big right tackle, Edison Jamzak.
With his quickness, you expect him to get to the outside, but you can see there, number 33, David Christie, with some help, shutting him down.
2 touchdowns in this tournament, not as productive as he was in 2017. This pass on the slant intended to Dean, but it's too far behind him. And that continues the third down woes for New South Wales. That's 0 from 4.
Even if he caught that, it would have been difficult for him to get the 13 yards required to move the sticks for the first down. So a quick 3 and out. Momentum quite obviously still with the Queensland team. They will need to get out of their own side of the field.
Mulvaney's back to punt. Good snap. It's a good punt that gets awfully close to being blocked. And this Paludan, he'll get an opportunity to return. And he will take it back to the Queensland 41. Good coverage there from the Wolverines.
Queensland still winning the field game, where most field position game, where most of the game is still being played inside the half or deep inside the half of the Wolverines team.
And their first 4 possessions have all led to punts. Wolverines only getting 3 in the first half. Of course, Queensland recovering the onside, well, if you want to call it an onside kick. This pass was intended to an open jet bond, but hits the turf. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for the Queensland Sun Devils.
The stacked formation, the 3 or bunched formation from the Queensland team is quite obviously giving some headaches to the Wolverines. Receiver was wide open there. The Chipari would like to have that one over again because he should have really hit that receiver in the chest and possibly still be running. Once again, bunch formation to the wide side of the field.
And Chipari will keep it. And he'll have to wrestle a whole bunch of defenders on his way to a 4-yard gain.
Once again, making something positive out of not very much.
And the outside linebacker there, number 51, Daniel Baker, actually made life hard for both of them there. I don't think Chipari knew whether he should have handed off or kept that one.
It looked like an option once again, where his zone read, where the quarterback has the option of either giving it to the running back or keeping it himself. But there was a lot of blue jerseys in there, but still, and once again, getting positive yards with athletic ability, strength and heart. We've said that quite a few times now. I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but if I see the same thing over and over again, I'll keep calling the same thing over and over again.
Chipari checking off with his 3 wide receivers to the left. He'll look to throw that way. We'll dump it. He had both receivers underneath waiting for the same route, but Shanks gets it and evades the first wave of defenders and will be knocked out of bounds at the Wolverines 31.
So far, there almost always seems to be a Queensland receiver open. In that case, 2 open, so busted coverages or miscommunication on the defence, making it, at least in this case, the job very easy for the quarterback. Just pitch it to your receiver, let him go be an athlete. Moves the chains again. 3
receivers stacked, diamond formation, if you will, to the right. He'll throw underneath and really gave his hospital pass there to Golder Shanks. Aldridge lighting up Shanks at the 30.
It'll be interesting to see with 2 defenders making the play on that, whether there was another receiver that the quarterback did not see who was open.
Well, the coverage was tight. And
possibly the wrong read from the quarterback. Receiver had to be brave to hold on to that and then bounce back up.
Most of the receivers out to the left. He's going long to a wide open.
Wow, Kenny, he was all alone, and you can see a little bit of frustration there.
Missed opportunity there for the Sun Devils.
Receivers thinking, come on, man, I worked hard. You got to give me the ball.
Yeah, I think they confused the coverage there. He had 4 wide receivers out to the left.
Yeah, and you see the defensive backs looking at each other, almost pointing the finger, that was your man. No, that was your man.
And I think because of all those short completions underneath.
That's exactly, well done, Kenny. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. A short pass, short pass, short pass. The defender starts looking for the short pass, and then someone sneaks around behind them.
This time, 3 out to the left. He'll throw to Nielsen. Puts probably a bit too much air underneath it, but that's all right for Nielsen. And Nielsen goes and picks up a nice chunk of yardage there. Let's see how close he got to the first down. He moved them. That's a 3rd down conversion for Queensland, and that will see them sit at 5 out of 7 of their 3rd down conversion attempts.
And with 4 wide receivers going downfield, Zachary Nielsen makes the 5th wide receiver out of the backfield and completely left untouched. Once again, a little bit of frustration from the defensive coverage on the Wolverines.
Nielsen only having to play one side of the ball this time around against Victoria, doubled up against Maxitov. And this will be to that young Ferguson, number 8, grabbing a sideline grab. Tom Ferguson converted from defensive back to wide receiver during training camp ahead of this tournament.
Running an out-breaking route. Manned up against a linebacker in Zach Fernley. And Chapari throws the ball rolling out to his weaker left side, puts the ball where only his receiver can catch it, but still had some work to do, young Ferguson, so great catch.
Showing off his ball hawking skills. And now it'll be Nielsen with a inside zone, but he's met into the big bare arms of number 79, Tyrone Finau.
Showing some quick feet there. Makes one guy miss, but runs into a wall in Tyrone Finau. Bang.
And it's a good battle in the trenches, this one. Both lines probably similar size. New South Wales, I'd say their D-line probably has the bulk of their O-line for at least height. And there's a quick throw there from Chapari to the back of the end zone, and more. Led him a bit too much though, incomplete.
Even if he caught that, he was out of bounds. That's slightly too big by at least 2 yards there from the quarterback.
Well, obviously a lot of the other wide receivers commanding a lot more attention. Moore has been often used as that isolated receiver in the 3-by-1 sets. Let's see if eventually this system will allow him to get a little more involved.
Well, quite obviously the Wolverines need to look at Paludan and the other receivers who have been calling their names, and now
that time trying to go to the same concept. He was Jaden Paludan going to the corner, and this will bring up a 4th down there, so a failed 3rd down conversion.
There's twice that Harris Walker needed to defend in that far left corner.
Just sitting above 50% right now on 3rd down conversions. 4th down is in another scenario. They failed their first attempt, turning over on downs in a very similar area, but then just before halftime, Zach Nielsen pounded in for a run. Chapari, design roll out to the left, will throw very quickly. Incomplete, turnover on downs. New South Wales Wolverines will take the ball over on downs.
You see that
Turnover on
by his
downs,
body
change
language.
of possession.
Quite
First
obviously
down.
thought he was open and running a whip route. Possibly my favourite route, where it looks like he's running a slant, sticks his downfield foot in the ground and breaks back to the outside. And a great man-to-man beater is that route.
Yeah, really. Fools you, mind the pun, whipping your head back to the outside.
Yeah, and all you need is a step, and that was made famous by the New England Patriots wide receivers who are inside slot receivers.
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker, absolutely,
yeah,
and with his quick feet and his quick feet and ability to change direction, makes it very, very hard to mark.
So Wolverines now deep in their own territory. Heptonstall, nice drop. Plenty of time, loading up, throwing downfield, and that's Corey Dean with a would-be catch. It falls out of his hands as he gets closer to the ground. Incomplete pass.
He really had to thread the needle there, didn't he, Kenny? Because there was 2 defenders, the safety and the corner, marking him.
We got behind the coverage.
He did get behind. Whether there was some sun in his eyes or whether he didn't expect the ball to get through to him. He'd love to have that one again.
Well, it's as he's coming down to the ground. It's not as he's making the catch. But that was fantastic protection from the offensive line and a brilliant throw there from Heptonstall.
He had a lot of time to pass the ball there.
This time they'll give it to Nello Abel. He breaks the initial wave and then cops a shot. Dropping his shoulder into him there for the Sun Devils is Ethan Carmody.
The motion receiver, number 19 there, Connor Moore, would have needed to kick out that outside linebacker to create a running lane for his running back, but the linebacker was able to shed that block and then go make the play on the ball carrier.
Can New South Wales convert for the first time in this game on third down? It's Michael Ryan back in at quarterback.
Sydney, New South Wales.
Sydney, New South Wales. That's where we are. Great job.
Interesting from the offensive coordinator to switch in Michael Ryan mid-drive to swap quarterbacks.
Yeah, especially on a key down like that, you think you just let Heptonstall take it through. Albeit Michael Ryan, you could say, is the better athlete, so maybe that's a tip as to what they may be trying to achieve here. It is 6 yards to go.
He has proven in the past that he does have great scrambling ability to get a potential first down.
Coach, something I did not cover into the lead-up due to a bit of stuff to cover in the first down is the history between these two teams. They last met in Game 1, 2017, up at Runaway Bay in Queensland. Queensland had the home ground advantage that time. Ultimately, that proved to be what many would consider to be the grand final of that tournament. They didn't have a final system in that game. It was pure round robin. That was the closest game of the tournament, 15 points to 7. Queensland came away with that victory. New South Wales putting on the only points against Queensland in that entire tournament, which actually came from a pick 6 from Alex Whitehead. And Ben Chariot ended up adding the extra point. He was the last person to score against Queensland, or the only person to put offensive points against Queensland in that tournament.
And it shows you how dominant Queensland has been over the past couple of years.
And on third down, they try to go the read option, but Connor Ellis shuts that play down. That'll bring it fourth down.
Quarterback here has the option of keeping the ball himself, which he did there, if the defense does collapse onto the running back. But the flowing defense from Queensland was able to nullify both the running back and the quarterback on that play.
Jack Rithadech came off to that play. He's now running to the medical tent. He does not look well. That could be big for Queensland.
Oh, he has been a key player on defense.
Mulvaney with plenty of time to punt. Doesn't get a whole lot of height on it, but does get some distance. It's down there by Jalele Dempsey. Corrected me in pre-game very politely, and I said the Y in his name isn't really emphasized. It's Jalele, so I got you.
Queensland again winning the field position game, forcing the game to be played mostly, if not all, I can't remember actually, New South Wales getting past the halfway line. I might be wrong here, but it seems like most, if not all, of the game has been played in the Wolverines' half.
They have struggled to cross the 50, that is a fact. Gorka Watchapari now.
Middle screen.
They'll try that middle screen to Curtis Fallon May. Welcome to the game.
With that play, you'll see the running back step up about 5 yards, turn around. The offensive line lets the defense come through, and then they go try and get the second and third levels. And that's scary for the defensive backs when you have a 300-pounder come at full speed towards you trying to knock your head off.
That's a fact too. 22 points to 0. The score line from halftime still unaffected. Curtis Fallon May meets the left shoulder of the defensive lineman Amika Benson.
Angus Hope in there as well, letting everyone know that he was in on the play. Coming from this left side, and wow. Great camera work here. Bang.
So third down now for the Sun Devils. 3rd and 8 we have on our screens. 5 from 8 so far. Gorkort Chapari just dumps it while he's under pressure. Good pressure there from the Wolverines.
Bit of a shot put there to get it out to, what is it called, the Shanks. But the defenders were to shut down the running backs, the quarterback's running option and the receiver potentially catching the ball.
And as you see, the new respective special teams take the field. We mentioned the obviously the officiating crews ahead of today. Greg Evers, the umpire, and Scott Hood leading the charge. But there's someone else special will lead into post this change of position. Calder Shanks will punt for the first time today here for the Sun Devils. Will roll out to the right, dips it onto his foot, takes a bounce around the 15, and will they stop this at the 1?
Wow.
Everything, even when they fail, is going Queensland's way right now. That is down at the 1.
It's exactly what we're talking about, the field position game. This time the Wolverines need to cover the whole field, basically, 99 yards to score, making it very, very hard. A quick shout out to Bob Barrett, an ex-NCAA referee who for 20 plus years worked as an NCAA ref on the West Coast.
Ball placed at the 20-yard line.
And just might have missed that call there. And hang on, was that a penalty there? We might have missed that penalty as we're talking about.
I did miss that, Kenny.
I too missed it. Well, I thought this ball would be down at the 1, but I missed the call there, unfortunately. And good call from the officials there. Josh Bowes. We only just seen it on replay now. Josh Bowes was in the end zone when he made contact with the football. Great call from the officials. Incomplete pass on first down, and that is why it wasn't down at the 1. It was in fact called a touchback. So all clarity, everything clear now.
Quarterback looked like Max Heptonstall heaving it downfield. Ben Shariat, a little bit of frustration there, thought he was open.
Going back to a note earlier about the change of quarterback mid-range, obviously for the sake of a play call there to run the read option. And just for everyone at home, we're still...
If you watch his feet or his knee when he actually touches the ball...
Any doubting...
Whoa.
Yeah, but the point is you have to pick up, you have to have control of the football, and you could argue that's not maintained until there. So back to live. Ryan back at a quarterback. Hit as he's thrown, incomplete. And this will be another third down conversion ahead of the New South Wales Wolverines. Scores still unchanged from halftime. Queensland lead 22 points to 0. The New South Wales Wolverines defense stifling in the third quarter.
Just to finish that thought from earlier, Bob Barrett, who's been helping out our officiating crews all week, retired NCAA referee from the West Coast. Thank you very much, Bob Barrett, for all your work this week and throughout the country.
Indeed. Michael Ryan, he's back in at quarterback. He's looking hard. No, he corrects himself. Now he's going to have to run with it. Can he beat the first linebacker? Yes, he can. Picks up a block. Here goes Ryan. Ryan past the 30. I think that might be a first down for the Wolverines, waiting for the call. That was on third down, and that is a first down.
Eyes downfield, nothing open. Good stiff arm, some blocking downfield. I thought there may have been a block in the back. Obviously not from the Wolverines. So eyes downfield, nothing, then just turn into an athlete. That's exactly what we're talking about, the athletic ability of Michael Ryan to make something happen out of nothing. Something that Chapari has been doing not only all day today, but all throughout the tournament.
It's our first third down conversion for the Wolverines. 1 from 6.
There's a
under pressure, throwing downfield. A fantastic catch, but I'm pretty sure it was out of bounds.
The running back was open briefly. Maybe the hands in the face of the quarterback didn't allow him to see a short receiver.
Offside.
Open.
Defense. Number 42. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
A penalty against Queensland helps the Wolverines.
So Jack Rithadech. Well, they say every good pass rusher has a offside penalty.
Absolutely. A lot of times those outside pass rushers, they're trying to guess or at least time their jump to get into the backfield on the cadence of the quarterback. Sometimes they get it wrong.
1st and 5. This opens up your playbook. Liam Brown in motion. And he'll look towards Brown's direction, looking for an open Brown. The pass adds and well, the ball looked like it picked up about an extra couple pounds in the air and fell well short of Brown.
Whether it got caught up in the breeze or maybe it just didn't come out of that quarterback's hands right, it did stay up in the air for a very, very long time. Liam did get open and did have 2 steps behind the defensive back, but nowhere near the ball.
Second and 5 now, following the penalty on first down, incomplete on second. And that'll be another false start, or will it be an offside? I've been impressively wrong about this call all tournament.
It looks like they're marching the defense
Offside.
back, if I see that right.
Defense. Number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's what we mentioned earlier about a quarterback that has some smarts about him will change up the snap count. You can absolutely use the snap count or the cadence as a weapon against a very, very aggressive, fired up defense, and that will nullify their aggression.
I think they have to do it. Queensland front 4 are getting very, very rush happy. 3 to the right. And this time they'll stay on the ground. Rutgersberg spins and turns and trucks his way past the first down marker.
Great
First
run.
down Wolverines.
Wonderful, great run. Blockers looking for work downfield after the initial block. Keeps good balance. Great lower body strength. And you see the big dogs down there pushing and shoving for their little brother.
A little bit of a power game there. Pulling guards and whatnot.
Well, the interior linemen need to be athletic. They need to be quick with lateral movement and then vertical movement to get downfield to get some blocks.
And Jeff in the slot with Moore.
Pulling guards again.
Pull a guard. Here goes Rutgersberg. Stephans will play to the ground but loses his footing in the process. Maybe a yard or 2 falling forward.
Is it Ezekiel Kautai getting in the backfield, tripping him up?
As mentioned, you mentioned that his brothers are picking up blocks for him, and whilst that may be true for New South Wales, for Queensland, they have a bunch of brothers and one sister on the field there. Michelle Peters, we talked about in the early stages of the tournament. She got a fumble recovery in the South Australia game, got and played some offensive line in the first game against Western Australia.
Great work, Michelle Peters, getting to play in this national tournament. And I stand corrected from
oh, cut block. We'll get back to that in a second. Sounds like we get penalised. He might get penalised too. We have players down and flags down everywhere.
Michael Ryan fires a laser.
It's probably going to be a hold on the left guard and Gigi there. And I think it was the left tackle, Jackson and Gigi.
Holding. Number 53 on the offense.
That was a wrestling
10-yard
takedown.
penalty. Still second down. Injury timeout.
Some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just right there.
And Joelle Dempsey is walking off now after a shot there from David Christie.
It's an easy call on that penalty for the referees. Different rules for the defensive lineman and the offensive lineman. The offensive lineman can't grab and hold outside of the frame of the defensive line. The rules for the defensive lineman are a lot more free.
And so that'll move them back, but yeah, Michelle, we believe it could be the first female representative at the junior national level. So
It's wonderful work on her part. Obviously, not just a token player. She's earned her right to be on the field, and just like one of the punters who corrected me in the previous game that I called, saying that not just lads out there is a lady out there as well. So I stand corrected, and as a coach of the ladies' game, I'm very, very proud of Michelle and all the hard work that she's done to get here. Well done, Michelle.
Offside. Defense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
once again, another early jump from the Sun Devils. This time it's Frankie Tinalau. Ran into him in the bathroom at halftime there. He was fixing his bandana, I think it was, underneath his helmet.
There's quite a few Queensland supporters here, so well done to everyone who's come down for Queensland to support their team.
I think they just heard you shout out to them then, Coach. Under pressure is Ryan, but look at the evasive manoeuvres of the young man, and he tries to dump it to Moore, but it comes out of the hand awkwardly. He was a left-handed quarterback rolling to his right. He can't connect.
It's always a little more awkward when you roll to your weaker side. Gets his feet tangled up, didn't get his shoulder turned, but there was pressure on him, so I need to get rid of the ball as quick as possible.
How about, who was number 58 there? The hand fighting from the defensive
he was
tackle.
Open number 19, Connor Moore.
Tyrone Toffiano there, just using what I call the buzzsaw technique, just fighting the hands away
Ripping
from
and
the
tearing,
center.
Chewbacca just ripping arms off.
Oh, fantastic. Love me some good defensive tackle play. In motion is Moore. Across the face of the quarterback he goes. Now he goes downfield. Heptasaw off his back foot. Will almost get intercepted.
You see 3 Queensland players around the ball, only 1 Wolverines player, so I'm not sure what the quarterback saw in terms of his guy being open, because he certainly was not. Maybe a bit of a case there, just throw it up there and hope your boy makes the play.
There's 3 Queenslanders underneath it. Cusson was the one probably with the best shot on third down.
They got in each other's way, didn't they?
Yeah, that was another failure. 1-7 from third down conversions now, the Wolverines. Catching on the full is our young man in Shanks. Shanks finally an opportunity to return here, but the cover defense for New South Wales is good. Limits the return. Shanks gets his Queensland Sun Devils back around the 26.
Still showing his speed there. If the response from the special teams coverage team wasn't as good as it was, he can very, very easily turn a corner and then just be gone.
Well, that is 7 straight punts on their on their 7 possessions for the game.
But if nothing else, they have Queensland back inside their own 30.
It's a game of
So
tug of war.
some field position in favour of the Wolverines right now.
And pass over the middle. That could have been a game-changing play.
There was no one in front of Lachlan Bignall had he caught that ball.
He's made a couple big plays this game so far. A sack, key tackle, and that very well could have been a pick 6. He would have had Shanks chasing him.
But that was great camera work just there. You see Lachlan Bignall right in the middle of our screen there. Back up, sees the crossing receiver, jumps in front, makes the play.
So
exactly how you draw it up for defence.
So no punt on that last one, but a turnover and downs because they finally got into Queensland territory. That handoff took a while. Nielsen, on his quickness alone, escapes the original pressure in the pocket.
Yeah, the Wolverines would have liked to have stuffed this right on the quarterback-running back exchange. They would have loved to have stuffed this right here. Number 40 misses the tackle, Angus Hope. Zachary Nielsen able to turn the corner and make something out of not very much.
Well, stand corrected. After 6 punts, their 7th possession, they get a turnover and downs, and that's where you talk about the field position changing for them.
It's hard for an offense to continually have to score from deep in your own side of the field.
Chapari Plenty of time. That's why he throws long. Underneath it was Jaden Paludan, the tournament's leading receiver. He goes through his hands though, and on third down, Queensland has to send out the punt unit, and that will bring a close to the third quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more quarter left in the 2019 AGL.
You'll see that the receiver Paludan runs a seam route straight down the field. I've got a feeling that the defender that was initially on him would have expected some help from the free safety who was there late. So the free safety with obviously has got to cover sideline to sideline from the middle of the field. In that case, was a little bit lucky that the ball was overthrown.
And Queensland looking to send Shanks out to punt again.
Queensland being Queensland, they could line up to punt. And who knows whether it will be a punt.
Well, that is the advantage of having an athletic punter. But that being said, in this tournament, almost every punter is athletic. Everyone's usually playing wide receiver or defensive back. Mulvaney, totally capable of pulling fakes out of his hat.
Yep, gives the special teams coach options.
Shanks won't fake though. He'll drop it on his toe. This will take a friendly bounce at the 20 and tackled there around the 17. I think the Queensland player is going to take a second to compose himself. I think it's Cusson again from the Gold Coast Stingrays.
I think there was some friendly fire where the legs of the two Queensland players hit each other.
Here's another one of those Gold Coast Stingrays. No surprises for the Queensland team that there is a very strong representation from the Gold Coast Stingrays, particularly at the positions doing well right now. 4-time state champions.
An absolute powerhouse. And like you said, Kenny, particularly in the skill positions, you see a lot of Stingrays helmets.
Yeah, Jaden Paludan, Coach Barry headlining that. Gab Salvo, the outback running back, was technically, I think, eligible for this tournament as well. Not here, obviously, but can you imagine him and Nielsen in the same backfield?
A lot of depth.
And there's off.
Well done getting up, lad.
New South Wales still with plenty of work to do. To their credit, their defense has turned the corner here in the second half, has not surrendered a point yet. It has been a stalemate here in the second half.
And they don't really need to do anything different than what they have been doing. They don't need to go to a bag of tricks. They just need to stay solid, stay composed, nothing silly. Conversely, the Wolverines need to get something happening very, very quickly. Try and get some momentum.
Yeah, that's Ryan. Evades Lawson. And we'll take it out of bounds after a solid 3 yards on the scramble. Kane Mackin, and Nicholas Lawson pressuring him.
So the running back took the fake handoff and didn't stay home to block. He went out into a route making the fifth receiver, and that only leaves the 5 offensive linemen to block for the quarterback. Extra pressure from Queensland mean he was flushed to his left and had to scramble for a 3-yard gain. This time does give it.
Nullawabau. Oh, there he does. That's what he does well. Running in a straight line is Nullawabau. Breaking tackles on his way to a first down on what looked to be about a 17-yard run.
The defender who initially came in there to stop him didn't do a very good job of wrapping him up. He was able to bounce off that and get a key first down.
And Ethan Nullawabau tries again, but this time Connor Ellis jumps in the box and stops him after a 1-yard gain. Getting a correction here from my sources that Gab Salvo would have been too old, hence why he's not here. So it wasn't.
That's the why he's not here.
But another
shout out to Gab Salvo anyway.
Sam Stevenson from the Stingrays could have been eligible. And another outback player, Jaden Box, was eligible but was out with a knee injury. And talk about how that happens and how players don't make it out there. I left out of my Victorian call there that Logan Tia would have been a significant addition to the Victorian offense. A very Tebow-esque type quarterback down there, dominates both on the ground and through the air with his arm. As a pass is completed through the air to Liam Brown, trying to hold on to it now as he's fighting off Josh Bowes. But that's a nice completion there on 2nd and 9.
Out there with a one-on-one with 3 receivers to the right. Liam Brown's there out there on his own to the left.
But yeah,
beat your guy, catch the ball, turn something short into something long potentially. But number 15, Josh Bowes there on the defence. Still was able to move the chains.
Yeah, but just to finish off that thought, Logan Tia could have been a wonderful addition to what was already a pretty potent Victorian offense. First down and 10. Deep drop here from Ryan. Wants a big chunk but loses it. Picks it up again and then cops a shot there from Frankie Tinalau. I think his hits as he drops the ball back here for the throw. It's Ngigi who might get credited for a forced fumble.
But that I didn't see the number that was over the top of Ngigi. Was just drove him back into his own quarterback, and then some friendly fire. So
there's Nick Lawson.
You see that?
No, he just dropped it clean. We thought we bumped it off Ngigi, so take that back. Just lost it, which he's not the first quarterback to do that.
Great camera work. Thank you for correcting us, boys.
I think Mikulev from the All-Stars had that situation happen to him. I think maybe even Soteropoulos had that situation. Could have been Troth, I can't remember. But some of these balls are a little bit new, so as we see.
You never want to play with a brand new football because it really does feel like a bar of soap. The more worn in they are, the stickier they become.
There's Tyrone Tofeano getting some medical attention there, and he looks like he'll be okay. We'll take a couple drives off at the least to collect himself. And just to mention Nick Lawson there, you might remember him of pass out fame towards the back end of the Victorian game. Everyone was nervous, including us here in the booth, but we were quickly let known that he has a condition that is to the nature of him passing out and falling asleep at random moments. And the doctors did just want to be careful though.
It was scary to see though, wasn't it?
Well, Michael Ryan, he's trying to shoot past some defenders. He slides down, preserves himself for the next play. He's starting to show off his athleticism as quarterback.
It looked like a great run, but ultimately he just gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Or just short of. 3rd and 12 it looks like.
1 from 7 currently on 3rd downs. 3rd and 12. Moore in the right slot. Dean near side wide receiver. Jeff over in the left slot. And that's big Liam Brown towards the Queensland sideline. Pass play. Looking for Chariot. Chariot's got it. He's racing him to the sideline and will get a penalty on top of that as well.
You know, it's interesting. I was just about to say one name that we haven't heard much of, if at all, this game was Ben Chariot, an outback receiver.
I think I confused him for Lucas Jeff again because of the yellow helmet, but there he is.
He runs that Wes Welker kind of route where
at the end of the run,
he comes in
foul,
and then breaks
number
back
29,
outside.
Late hit out of bounds, 15-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Let's see the penalty being called against, I think it was Ethan Carmody. The hit out of bounds there, which will half the distance to the goal for the Wolverines, currently with no points on the board, looking to close this 22-point gap with 8 minutes and 23 seconds remaining.
Usually in this close to your end zone, the defense will be lining up in man-to-man coverage. Usually, that's not a given. So if that's the case, the offensive coordinator will be looking for his man beaters, or if it's a pass play, which plays
staying
the
in
best.
the zone. They'll pitch it out to Streeter. Streeter's been quiet. Streeter will stay quiet. This Queensland defense swarms all over him on first down.
There was a lot of Queensland jerseys there.
And, well, it's safe to say this New South Wales offense has been a lot more pass happy than in 2017, and also Streeter's had quite a few other running backs to compete with. Had a very productive 2017, but he was the lead back in that offense. This time he's sharing carries with the likes of Rutgersberg and Nolobabau and also Hawkins.
And they all bring something different to the offensive backfield.
Ethan Nolobabau. Now the back. Brown across the face of the backs. They'll give it to Ethan. Ethan, he'll meet Carmody, I think. Short gain on the dive play. Another little power play, actually, with a couple of pulling guards. Jacob Shield this time. Getting his...
Liam Brown coming across in motion, becoming an extra blocker. With his big body, he's almost a tight end as he comes in there and blocks.
3rd and goal, but ball's on the 11. 2 of 8 on 3rd down here for the Wolverines. More in motion. He should hit more. He's waited a bit long now. Coverage is caught up. He's under pressure. Throwing for the back of the end zone. Almost intercepted by Josh Bowes. Pass intended for Liam Brown. That will bring up a 4th down, and New South Wales will have to try and achieve a touchdown on a 4th down conversion. 6 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the National Championship. Still 0-0 as far as the second half goes.
Queensland haven't done anything too flash. They haven't needed to on the offensive side of the ball. The defense of the Wolverines were able to stuff them, to causing a couple of punts. We haven't had those incredibly long runs from 3rd and long from Chapari.
Ryan looking for slants into the end zone. Liam Brown had it and lost it through the hands of big Liam Brown. Incomplete, turnover on downs, and Queensland, they keep their defensive record perfect here in the National Championship.
The ball was thrown where only Liam can catch it. It seemed to go through his hands. I don't want to
turnover on downs, change of possession.
But possibly a ball that he should have caught, especially on 4th down. That was key. Let's see from this angle where let's see if it's catchable or not. Tough one, very tough one.
That is Liam Brown's area of the field. That's where he scored most of his touchdowns. Chapari not waiting to get going. Is that a catch? And they're going to say he was out of bounds. An impressive effort, but not in the field of play. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Sun Devils.
It looked like that wheel route where he scored on in the previous game, where he breaks to the outside towards the sideline and then turns upfield from the inside receiver position. And just his pure speed gives him separation. And that's a wonderful catch.
Close.
That's a wonderful catch. You almost should give it to him just on that effort.
Jen Paludin, who's the leading receiver as far as touchdown goes in this tournament, yet to score, so props to New South Wales there. New South Wales, through Bignell, are claiming they came away with it. The referees not having a bar of that. They're saying his knee was down, and I think the video suggests that. Yeah, you can see him down there, but is the ball already coming out? And that's Mitch King, popping up with the football, but they'll continue to defend. And throwing long is Chapari once more, looking for a receiver in Paludan. And this time they get it right. Payton takes this into Wolverine football, or at least their half of the field.
Chapari to Paludan. How many times have we said this throughout the tournament?
Too many, hence why I'm trying to think of different ways to say it.
It's a great combination. The trust factor between the two has been, we talked about, built up over years of playing together. So quite often the quarterback will just know that he just needs to throw it up, make it catchable. His boy will go get it.
It was Mitch King on the coverage there, the attempted coverage. Here goes Chapari once more. Stiff arm will take him into the 30, past the 30 in fact, past the 20
Wow.
and just before the 15 he's out of bounds around the 17-yard line. Queensland in a quick succession of plays are back up the other side of the field.
Made a very quick decision there, had the ball cocked ready to pass it, and very quickly thought, no, I'm going to run this, and then makes one miss, outruns a second, third, and the fourth eventually knocks him out of bounds.
And yeah, the man of, I believe, Sudanese descent, proving his athleticism
It'd
here
be
on the
interesting
national
to see
stage.
his yardage, his rush yardage for the day. It'll be way over 50, pushing the ton.
And Nielsen now has got options, and then
And
Chapari's gone out to try and block for him, and that will take it inside the 5, maybe on the 5 in fact.
Well, there we see on the replay, Chapari being the great athlete that we know he is, again getting a key first down. And on the following play, after the handoff, sprints downfield to get in front of his ball carrier and to make a downfield block. You don't expect quarterbacks to do that. They're the football players. He's not just a quarterback, he's a football player. Coaches love that.
And Chapari will hand this to Nielsen. Nielsen will look for that right pylon again. He was there in the first quarter. Here he is again. Zach Nielsen collecting his 5th touchdown of the 2019 AGL.
And that was almost too easy. Normally he'll come flashing across the face of the quarterback. This time it goes to the same side that he was lined up on and just bounces it outside with very little pursuit or pursuit that was caught inside from the Wolverines.
Score's good, 1 on time.
There's no outside contain there whatsoever.
Score now 28 points to 0 over New South Wales. Jaden Paludan, who surprisingly is yet to score. He's almost in double digits, 8 touchdowns.
He has put points on the board though with his kicking. So
and this is blocked from New South Wales. They'll try to return it. Won't do it successfully, but they keep the points off
Extra
the
point,
board.
still good.
Put the commentator's curse once again on Paludan, just saying he was about to kick this extra point, put more points on the board.
And it was a high snap, and that allows Damon Rowland to get in. And Damon Rowland off the edge actually is the one who gets there. And just watch the number 5 of the
far left side
edge.
is what we're looking at for those playing at home. That's exactly how you draw it up. You put the outside blocker in 2 minds as to who he's going to block, the inside guy or the outside guy. His job is to block the inside guy. He's the most dangerous man, but you have the speedy guy on the outside making the play on that.
Tom Saxby's back. Just need a score check on. No. 28-0 the score currently. Four minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the 2019 AGL. Queensland, they are getting closer and closer to their 3rd consecutive national championship.
And with New South Wales needing to score quickly to make anything out of this game, you'd be expecting them to pass And if that's the case, it makes it easier for the defense just to tee off,
especially for
on
this
the quarterback.
Number 42, Jack Rithadech.
We've called that name quite a bit. They stay on the ground.
And
But the whole defensive front.
Tom Saxby involved in that as well.
The whole defensive front is fired up now. There's 2 players and then 3 in the backfield.
Kane Mackin and Tom Saxby.
And the offensive line turning around, looking back towards the ball carrier apologetically.
And they're doing a good job against a very, very tough offensive line that features Jacob Shield, Jackson Gigi, Jake Edwards.
You get better leverage, better angles,
Zach
and
Hackett.
a bit of speed, and bad things can happen. Heptonstall back.
He's looking to the left, finds Chariot with space. He beats Carmody. Can he beat Snag? Yes, he can. Mulvaney's looking for a block now. He's racing Christie to the end zone, and Christie takes him down inside the 5. A big play there from the outback representative.
A short catch turned into a very, very long gain. Ben Chariot was mentioning that earlier that he's had a quiet game, and here getting something positive happening for the Wolverines. Great pass, great catch, but once again the coverage from the defense was there, stopping what looked like it was going to be a touchdown.
And a nice block there from Mulvaney.
Number 33, David Christie, flying down, making a play on that.
So I think that's a correction.
Timeout.
A timeout for Queensland.
Queensland.
Queensland's going to try
That's
to
their
gather
first timeout.
themselves. I've known Booker for about a season, Coach Booker for a season or two now. Also know Brendan
3:18
Phillips for a
left.
while. As we get a time call as well. This shutout's going to be pretty important to them. They'll actually want to keep them off the board here. New South Wales, obviously, contrastingly, they're going to want to get their offense on the board.
Absolutely.
But don't underestimate that despite being well and truly in control, Queensland will want to keep a clean sheet.
The defensive side of the ball in particular, they're a fired up bunch of guys. Their coach will be really fired up. Bragging rights, not only with a win, but with a shutout.
Chariot there, oh so close to breaking it. But that reminded me of, I think it was Seth Hughes from Victoria who busted a similar sort of run. Queensland stood up and ended up denying them in their own red zone.
Well, we've seen quite a few times solid defensive stands throughout the tournament from quite a few teams. Defense will be angry about letting that play go for such a long gain. And they'll want redemption on this.
Heptonstall trying to get his team on the board. He'll throw to the end zone. They will get on the board. That is Lucas Jeff getting the Wolverines. Offense started. 3:15 remaining in the game.
Running a slant route here. Gets a step on his defender. Lovely ball from the quarterback. And giving the hometown fans something to cheer about late in the fourth quarter here.
I think Wally's tuning in. Complimenting our call there on this stream.
Oh, Graham Wallace. Miss you today, Wally.
So New South Wales fighting towards the end. Will not have a shot at the top.
That's a large
big fella, get in there, son!
Run, big
Go,
fella!
keep pushing!
Go, big fella!
Keep pushing!
Go, big fella! Oh.
He won't get it in this time, but I love the effort.
No good. Kick off.
That was
You want to fire up a sideline, give the ball to the big guy.
Valami Lolo, coach. I don't know if you saw the last play of the Victoria game. They gave it to Big Tui, who ran it in from about 23 yards out, breaking about 9 tackles.
I heard the call. I missed the visual, but I heard the call. And you know that the whole defensive side of the ball knew the big number 77 was in the backfield. There was no one else that was going to get the ball on that play.
3 minutes, 12 seconds.
He'll want the ball again.
What sort of onside kicks have the Wolverines practiced? They've got 2 timeouts, as does Queensland.
Now, are we going to go into the special teams bag of tricks? Is there something short on?
And Sherritt waiting for I thought he was waiting for a kicking tee. No, he's just getting the permission from the official to get things back underway.
Queensland special teams coaches will be saying we'll watch for anything short. There
That's
it is.
exactly what it is. It'll bounce to the third line and collected and downed by Jaden Paludan. He's quite experienced, Jaden, and knew exactly what to do in that situation.
It looks like they had their hands team out, meaning the anyone who has a good set of hands would be out there recovering a potential short ball.
A couple of the fans here saying just a little too late for the New South Wales Wolverines, and there's probably a lot of truth to that.
Yep. But they did avoid the goose egg. They did avoid the Geschwinkter, the zero, the duck egg.
Got offside on the receiving team. 5-yard penalty. We're going to re-kick.
Oh, how about that? They'll get a second chance. Someone on the front line for Queensland was in front of the of the line there. So New South Wales will move 5 yards forward and we'll get a second attempt here.
Turning point.
Not that they have the element of surprise in any stretch of the imagination, but they have a second chance.
It just takes a funny bounce. It just takes someone dropping or bobbling a ball.
A couple of linebackers there in the front line. Aim for one of those.
We'll just do what Queensland did, kick it straight at them.
And they aim for the sideline. I think he got too much loft on that.
Yep.
And that trails over the sideline. Queensland will be more than happy to just take the penalty here and take possession.
What the kicker tries to do, tries to kick towards the top of the ball, so he gets that odd rolling bounce. It could go anywhere, left, right, or straight up in the air where it hangs. Oh, drone.
And I was going to make a talk about that. There's been a drone on the field, which, by my understanding, is actually illegal over a sporting event like this. And that's why it's been grounded.
You don't think one of the teams is using that drone as a
Illegal
coaching
procedure
tool?
on the offense. 5-yard penalty will be assessed from where the ball went out of bounds. First down, Queensland.
You heard the call there, so we all knew. But I think it's both under the referees' rulings as well about for safety and stuff like that, and as well as God knows what drone laws there are nowadays.
I think he's supposed to be outside of 30 metres of anyone who's near the drone.
Nielsen here to mop it up. Still going to trust some of the starters here just to see this game out.
5-6 yards on first down. You fully expect them to let the clock run. And injuries and or timeouts will stop the clock.
Is that number 42? Is that Jack Rithidich on
now playing offense?
Probably using him as a blocker. He's an effective one of those. But while we are seeing Jack get a little bit of attention, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of myself and Paul Mills and Live Streaming Brisbane to thank all the commentary staff that has joined me in my luxury booth here for the week. Obviously starting with yourself, Coach. You've done a fantastic job doing 3 games with me. There was Stacey Spear who joined me for a game there. Dane Robinson as Jack Rithidich limps his way off the field. Peter Toss jumped on day 1, and of course Coach Hollywood, the junior outback coach, opening each day with me as well, getting me ready and informed for the rest of the day. But big thank you to all of you for helping me provide a little colour to the call each and every game.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Never having done this before, I didn't know how this worked. I realise how tough your job is. And being a fan of the game, it's been wonderful to hear the other commentators join you and present such a great show for the fans and everyone else involved.
Zachary Nielsen there probably makes a mistake by going out of bounds.
Live Streaming Brisbane doing a wonderfully professional job with this presentation. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies.
Holding,
probably should have
number 52 on the offense, 10-yard penalty, still
Just
second
want to
down.
cover all bases.
occasionally have Samantha with us at Live Streaming Brisbane, not with us this time, so But I like that you're covering the bases there, Coach Wolf. Second down, but yeah, a holding call. They'll move things back. The Wolverines, it's their prerogative how they will see this out. Will they choose to try and force a turnover here, or will they accept the fate that is? And
It's a heavy set in the backfield.
they've put a lot of meat in the backfield. Nielsen won't have time to use it though.
You don't expect that. You don't expect, in this case, Angus Hope coming through almost untouched into the backfield. Well, he fought through one block, but with a heavy set like that, you'd like to think that the blocking angles are in favour of the offence. But good individual effort there to fight off his block, to shed his block, and then blow up the backfield. Big hand grenade.
Just realised I was giving Hollywood all the love in the world. Didn't realise he was right behind me. They're the best couple of compliments though, right? Third down and 18.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining in the game.
There's a 2-minute warning. Is applied. Queensland, not that it matters at this point of the game. 5 from 9 on third down in the game. As I said, they were 4 from 6 in the first half. Wolverines really made life a lot more difficult for them in the second half. They'll try to pass for it. They'll try to get this third down. Holder Shanks underneath it, incomplete. Clock will stop as they will likely have to send the punt unit out. New South Wales will have a couple ticks under 2 minutes to try and add more to the board.
You see there with 3 in the backfield once again, making it look like a potential run play, hoping to suck the defence in. And then Queensland being Queensland, love to throw it deep from any down and distance. Like the one-on-one matchup, just unfortunately for them, incomplete.
A couple of the thank yous coming through. Thank you guys, Jamie O'Connor, Alethea Hook. Sorry if I've butchered your name there. Appreciate the kudos very much. I'm very, very grateful for your company during the games throughout the week. This will be a punt from Queensland. A couple guys wrestling over the ball. Queensland, you can see the sideline starting to get a bit antsy now as they get closer and closer to that glorious final whistle when you're on the winning side.
It's some celebrations, at least some high fives, low fives, and some good feels you can see on the Queensland sideline. While there's a little break, I'd like to give a quick shout out to all the parents that have come down to support their boys, especially the ones from interstate.
You can hear that response there as well.
In this game in particular, you can hear the Queensland supporters. So thank you very much, parents and supporters and everyone else.
An even louder shout there. But even all the New South Wales folk coming over during Easter weekend. We saw a couple of folk coming from North Queensland as well. We had a couple of Victorian folk coming over. I think I met some of the families from Team Victoria. It was lovely to meet. And a couple, of course, there's always a few crazy folk making the big trek out from Western Australia. Big shout out to you guys.
Thank you to all the parents.
South Australia, let's not leave them out as well. South Australia families.
Thank you to all the parents and all the support crew that have come out to support their teams. It's really, really wonderful to see.
Yes. And of course, thank you all for tuning into the stream as you have again here in 2019. It has been an honour and a privilege to provide you with the audio side of things as Livestream Brisbane so professionally and so wonderfully deliver the live stream to you. And New South Wales fighting to the end. This is Michael Ryan getting helped up there. Now they'll bring up second down. They've got one last drive to try and bring this to double digits.
For many of these lads, in particular the ones that are still on the field, this will be their last hit out as a junior. So no matter what the score is, they'll want to finish as a football player. They'll want to keep their engine running to the very echo of the last whistle.
And you can't underestimate that. I remember playing as a junior myself, knowing that this will be the last opportunity I'll be able to represent my state as a player. And those emotions hit you pretty late.
Yeah.
It might not be till even on the field here. It might be till a little later when you're packing your stuff up. But this is a pretty special moment for everyone involved, no matter what place you came in this tournament. And a sack here. No loss. He avoids the last sack, but then the rest of the D-line brethren finish the job here for Queensland. Queensland, they refuse to die in the night either. They will keep competing till the end.
pressure coming from everywhere. You'd want the big dogs in particular now to protect their quarterback right to the very end. Number 55, Nicholas Larson, fighting through his block. That's a man's engine who has never stopped.
See Stephen Armstrong as well, one of the former staff members for the previous New South Wales Wolverines. He's floating around here on the Natty Saddy. And there's a bit of space here for Michael Ryan. Can he get a block from Jeff? Can he get to the sideline at least? And he will. To the 15.
Fortunate there not to get a block in the back downfield.
Have been the last play of the 2019 AGL. Ladies and gentlemen, for the third time in a row, your national champions, the Queensland Sun Devils.
Congratulations to the Sun Devils players, coaching staff, and everyone who's supported this great team. Seriously, a great team.
Commiserations to New South Wales. They competed to the end here. They had a tough schedule, and also commiserations to Victoria. Obviously, very well could have been in this game as well. A huge competition for everyone involved. Queensland doing what the 2009 team could not, and they bring the third straight championship back up to Queensland, where the cup will sit in the Woolloongabba Sports House for the third straight time. We missed the Gatorade shower to Coach Booker. Coach Booker with the biggest smile on his face I've seen in quite some time. He's done a fantastic job. There we go. It's not a big bucket, it's a bunch of different bottles, and you can see the love and appreciation from his Sun Devils. He's worked very hard, and I can attest to the genuine love and affection he has for these guys who've been working for him. These guys and girl who've been working for him for the last 10, 12 weeks. So
very well earned.
You can see some of them now. Some of these guys winning their second championship.
There's Michelle Peters.
There's Michelle Peters. On your girl, you are the first female champion at the junior level. Thank you to all our officials as well. We've gone through them as well. Paul Mercer just gave me a handshake there. Big thank you to you for running screens, along with Miles Newman, the head of officiating of IFAF. Just to mention those backing up for their second title: Derek Yuga, Josh Bowes, David Christie, Connor Ellis, Charlie Evans, and Jaden Paludan. Back-to-back champions. They also won in 2017. It's actually amazing to think they're the only players, the only contingent returning from that 2017 side. Brand new coaching staff. So this is maybe the third title for Queensland, but this is the very first title for the large contingent of staff and players on this Queensland Sun Devil side.
You can see by that what you've just said there, Kenny, that the program up in Queensland, the plan to keep the torch bright is there. There's been no fall off from the previous program to this program. Brand new staff have continued in a very, very positive light. They play an exciting brand of football. They have athletes that can perform under pressure, and it obviously starts at the top. So great job to head coach John Booker and all his coaching staff.
Coach, whilst this isn't binding, I'll get your opinion on championship MVP. Where would your vote go?
There's a couple of obvious standouts. That's Gaurav Chapari, the quarterback for Queensland. Was really able to make a lot of things happen for the team, especially when they looked like they were being swamped. Jaden Paludan obviously scoring touchdowns left, right and centre, and an outstanding receiver, particularly on third down. It's hard to go beyond those two. Obviously, there'll be players that I'm not.
Zach Nielsen at running back.
Zach Nielsen at running back, who also doubled up and played a lot of defence, matched up against Anton Maxitov against Victoria. So the two ones that stand out for me, and now obviously I'm an offensive guy. The quarterback Gaurav Chapari and Jaden Paludan. Let's see where the cookies fall as far as the MVP goes.
And well, that will be us from the commentary booth. Once again, thank you to you, Coach. A wonderful job. One of my many talented color commentators I brought in. We've gone through all their thanks. I will wrap it up officially from the booth, but bear with us. We will keep the stream live in a couple of minutes. I'm going to be heading down, meeting up with Coach Hollywood, and we're going to be going through the post-tournament and post-national championship presentation to the parents and those here at Narrabeen and the Sydney Academy of Sports and Recreation. Bear with us. This has been the 2019 AGL National Championship. Your back-to-back-to-back champion, the Queensland Sun Devils, holding the title once more. can say whatever I
Yeah,
ask you,
no,
whatever
like,
it is, man.
Yeah, like it was all good to meet you. So thanks, appreciate it.
Audio, stadium check. There we are. Queensland and New South Wales. Can I please have you guys report in front of the blue tent in 5 minutes for the post-tournament presentation? 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, for the post-game presentation. We have trophies for the national champions and, of course, multiple MVP trophies to be handing out. 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, in front of the Sydney Academy of Sport and Recreation blue tent with our family, friends, and back in the grandstands, and we will get things underway. 5 minute warning.
Audio up, please.
Audio. Also, a shout out to Ricky David Harmon. If you have lost a wallet, Ricky David Harmon, we have had your wallet be handed in. If you make your way to the blue tent, we would love to get that back to you. Ricky David Harmon. All right. Queensland, New South Wales, can we get you moving to the racetrack in front of the blue tent so we can get this tournament presentation underway, please? All right. Players, can we please clear the field, have you heading towards the grandstand racetrack. We need to get this tournament presentation underway. Queensland looking at you. I know you're champions, get moving. New South Wales on the far side, if you could please start making your way to the racetrack, that'll be greatly appreciated. And almost there, guys. Clear the field. Let's get onto the racetrack and get this post-tournament presentation underway. There'll be plenty of time for photos afterwards. Thank you, New South Wales. Looks like you're going to win the race to the track. All right, we're going to start this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic week of American football we've seen. Commiserations to New South Wales, a very tough-fought game all the way to the end, and obviously the rest of our teams. I see Southern Australia, I see All Stars, Victoria in there. Thank you all for competing very hard. And of course, congratulations to our 2019 AGL champions, the Junior Sun Devils. All right, I'm going to take this opportunity to bring the real man of the moment to front and center. Ladies and gentlemen, he wants me to come over there. It is our junior Australian Outback head coach, John Hollywood Rowe, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to stand here in the shade because I have to dress up like this. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause for every player that has played in this tournament over the last week. And of course, love them or hate them, give it up for the officials as well. We love them. We love them. We love them. Could I have Six Blakes head coach standing next to me, please, sir? You. Head coach of the West Australian Raiders, Michael Kerr. Congratulations. Yeah, see you later, bye. Could I have the head coach or representative of the fifth place? All Stars, come on down. Right along. Yeah, go. Run, Matt. Run. Congratulations, young man. Well done.
Thank you.
There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
Round of applause for the All Stars. Could I have the head coach of the South Australia Sharks, please? Patrick Carroll, or Pete Carroll, as I like to say. Congratulations. Pete Carroll. There you go, Coach. Well done. The head coach or representative of Victoria. Danny Noonan. And the biggest fan in tow. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Sean.
Can I have a coach or representative of the New South Wales Wolverines over here, please? Coach Glenn Bowes, head coach. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you.
There you go, sir. And finally, can I please have the head coach or representative of your champions, the Queensland Sun Devils? Well done, Coach. Great campaign. Would you like to say a quick word?
Oh, yeah. There's a delay. All right. Just overall, every team here has a comp back in their state. It's a grassroots sport right now. So number one, we want to give a lot of appreciation for the volunteers that help the sport work. As far as Queensland's go, a special thank to Jason Garrity, Moreton Bay Raptor. I'll try not to mess up his name, but Cameron Kamadi. Yeah. Toowoomba. Gold Coast Stingray. Code Isham. Lance Tongakilo. Our defensive coordinator, Brendan Phillips, Sunshine Coast. Although they're not represented on our support staff, coach staff, our defensive captain is from the Bayside Ravens. Take flight. Last but not least, the Brisbane Rhinos. Graham Spur, our Graham's very special. And then last but not, this echo's killing me. All the families that drove down and made today's game a home game for Queensland, represent for our supporters. And for all the big fellas, the kitchen staff was on point. Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am acutely aware that people have got to catch buses and there's some teams leaving at 4 o'clock and 4:30. So we've got some tournament MVPs to announce. So we're going to do that real quick with myself and the chairman of Gridiron Australia, Darren Mitchell. So, as voted for by other coaches, special teams MVP of the tournament, number 24 from Victoria, Kenny Louie. We want special teams. Kenny's coming all the way back from the stands there. Kenny's wearing a lovely Tommy Hilfiger top there, a red colour. Rocking the fresh Nikes. Kenny Louie from Victoria, special teams. Offensive lineman of the tournament, number 77 from the All-Stars, Sam Kenner. Yes, Mr. Chairman, they're quite weighty. And yes, everyone asking, He is eligible for the next World Cup and the next Nationals. Defensive lineman of the tournament, as I said, voted by a lot of coaches. From Victoria, number 99, Finn Hazel Polkinghome. It was a pleasure to have Finn come to Mexico last year. He learned a lot. So much so, the defensive MVP of the tournament, number 99, Finn Hazel Polkinghome. Give him another one. So Finn takes out the defensive lineman and the defensive MVP. Which leads me to our offensive MVP. He had a cracker of a tournament. Number 3 from Queensland, Gore Chapari, the quarterback. Had a hell of a tournament. And finally, our last tournament award before we start to announce some of the Outback selection camp people we want to see. This guy was on kickoff, kick return, field goal, PAT, and scored a ton of touchdowns. Jaden MVP, number 85, Jaden Palyudin, as your tournament MVP. Coach Mitchell, would you like to say anything? No. No, done. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up your tournament awards. What we're going to do right now is, before everyone has to leave, is announce the selection squad to come and train or try out probably in January next year before we go to USA and represent Australia in the Under-19 World Cup of American Football, most probably in Canton, Ohio in the USA. So as I announce the names, please hold your applause as we'll get each team up. Could I ask those that come and I announce, come down, get a letter, get a cap, and we'll get a group photo afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to see from the All-Stars, Gil Ellicott, Will Symington, Sam Kenner, Jimmy Thompson, Will Clode, Flinders Cameron, Lachlan McLaren, Harrison Lacey, and Andrew Robinson. Now I should point out, ladies and gentlemen, is these players are eligible for the next World Cup. I may announce some names and you go, why didn't I announce so-and-so? Unfortunately, they might be too old for the next World Cup. You cannot turn 20 in 2020. From New South Wales, could I please see Michael Ryan, Lachlan Bignall, Tyrone Finau, Lucas Jeff, Cameron Streeter, Joseph Lataracoca, Harry Herbert, Lehman Brown, Kai Russenberg, Ethan Nalawabo, Jaylay Dempsey, Connor Moyer, and Max Heptonstall, Blake Gads, Harris Walker, Denzel Danabar, Angus Hope, and finally Amika Benson. From Queensland. This delay is killing me. Curtis Bailey, Jet Bond, Lachlan Amor, Cheyenne Tompkins, Calder Shanks, and Frankie Tinalau. I'll just let my team manager, Michael Kerr. From South Australia Sharks, could I please see Sol Mabutu, Ethan Galley, Ben Keane, Theo Ashley, and Tim Tuikaba. I do apologise if I'm getting some of these last names wrong. From Victoria, could I please see Aaron Feltus, Jonah Hickleton, Isaac Tui, Tom Biggs, Dallas Koresh, OJ Moapati, Simon, my quarterback, I'm not going to say his last name, Oliver Bennett, Zachary Vitale, Joshua Porter, Tom Troth, Finn Hazel Polkinghome, and OJ Flomo. And finally, from Western Australia, the youngest group here. A lot to work with in the future. Cendric Haycock, Jax Floza, Kai Torsvik, Connor Youngfree, Blake Mitchell, Adam Parker, Marcus Westlake, Zane Grigorovich, Sam Allison, Connor McFillin, Oliver Harmer, Ryan Evans, and Declan Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, the tournament is primarily the selection vehicle for the Under-19 World Cup. But I am acutely aware that there are players here that deserve a chance that might have high school exams, might be injured, or just simply couldn't make it. So one of the things I'm going to be doing later in the year is going around to each state and territory and holding a combine to make sure that nobody misses out and they have an opportunity to try out then so that we can take the best team overseas and compete the best we can. No, you can come and do the pathways, it's all yours. I'm not all up on it. Come on, pathways, let's go. I'm not going to announce it because I don't know much about it. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, before I end up and hand over to someone more regal from GA, players, please give your parents and friends and everybody that made it possible for you to get here a big round of applause. If I could ask Nikki from Touchdown Photography to come on over. Everyone that got a white hat, let's head on over here and get a quick group photo, and then I'm going to allow you to party like it's 1999. No, not the white hat refugees. So Nikki, I'll be on you wherever you want us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, quick, a little later. All right, that wraps up all the formalities here in 2019 in Narrabeen in the Sydney Academy of Sports and Recreation. Thank you to all the players, thank you to all the coaches, staff, volunteers, and certainly thanks to all the supporters who came down. And thank you for tuning in all the way throughout the week. I'm Ken Andreessen for the final time, wrapping up on behalf of all my commentators, Paul Mills and LSB. We'll see you in a couple of years.